Hello and welcome back to the Hemal Hempstead town experiment, where we give them max reputation and see just how far they can go. Last time we left them, they had started to stagnate in League 1, so I decided to give them a full worldwide reputation again at 10,000 over here. And we'll simulate 5 years into the future, and hopefully they've established themselves in the Premiership. And they should have a new stadium by then, you'd think, if they're in there. Only 5,750. So I will see you in just a second.
Alright, and here we are, 5 years in the future. So I suppose first things first, let's see how Hemal are doing. Not great, really. That is super disappointing. I honestly thought 5 years they would at least have had one promotion to the Premier League, but no, they've just been really mediocre in the Championship. You know, that's where we left at 14th. So they won promotion that year, and then finished 7th, so just outside the playoffs. And you think they'll build on that, they'll get promoted. They've just not. That's a really disappointing end to this. They've not increased the stadium at all. They've really just been disappointing. Got a 23 million loan debt, 28 million value. They're predicted to finish 9th and they finished 17th. Not really improved any of this. Well, they are due to move into a brand new stadium, the 15,795 capacity Park Stadium, in October. So maybe there'll be another episode of this where we go slightly further forward, because if they've got a larger stadium, that could help as well. And they've got a 15-year stadium sponsorship deal as well. Their reputation has dropped dramatically, so I'll probably have to increase that back up again, which would be really annoying. The fact that we've already done that and they did nothing. Let's have a look at the competitions quickly this year. Knocked out in the 3rd round, 1st round by Bristol Rovers, jeez. And in the Championship, just really disappointing. 11 points off relegation, but I mean, still, that's just not great at all. Let's go through their schedule from the last couple of years. So that would have been the first season without us. Let's see. Yeah, they had a decent start to the season. They sort of kept going in League 1. This is obviously the year they won it. Bit of a patchy form here for about 2 months. They just struggled to get any wins on the board. Then they sort of finished very strong. That's what, 5 straight wins, but then they lost on the final day. Go to the league that season. Yeah, so as you can see, champions, but only by 3 points. So yeah, not super amazing. So the next season, this is the season where they finished 7th. Yeah, once again, decent start, decent middle, but then around about January time, they always seem to go through this terrible patch of form, and that continued to the end of the season this time. It didn't sort of, the rut never really ended. They did actually have a derby against Watford, which they lost 4-1, so that's quite interesting. Maybe if they got promoted, they would probably have played Watford a lot more, and that rivalry would really have been quite interesting to see. And then the season afterwards, yeah, so the bad form from last season just continued really into this season. But then they did manage to get 4 wins in a row, but it was just really patchy. No real consistent form, except for maybe a couple of losses altogether at points. But just really inconsistent season. They end up finishing mid-table, and then the season just before, again, really patchy, really terrible end to the season. Just, what's that, 1 win in about 20 games, so half a season they got 1 win. The fact they weren't relegated was really impressive. And this season, wow, just terrible. Like, 6 losses in a row. That's 9 games between wins. It's just really terrible. They've gone through so many managers. So they had Lee Johnson when we left. He was there for 3 years. They then brought in Sean Dyche, followed by Lee Naylor, and now they've got Kieran Westwood. Yeah, not great at all, really. I mean, it's a lot of managers to go through in such short time that they're there. But you look at 15% win percentage, 38% win percentage isn't bad. It's got a 46% win percentage, 37. They've never really got going. Kieran Westwood has got to be hanging on for dear life. 27% won. He kept them up, obviously, but I mean, he's got decent stats. You know, a lot of goalkeepers when they come out just don't get decent stats, but he's on 61k a week and he only just kept them up. We'll just go through some transfers. Just drop back. So the first season, no real big transfers. Alex Moat, Daniel Iverson were brought in. They brought in Alex Jakubiak, Lee Angol. Yeah, he's sort of a bit of a lower league journeyman. I mean, other than that, no real amazing people. I thought he was the son of Nigel Pearson for a second, so I wanted to check that. First season in the Championship. Yeah, once again, no one really, big transfer. You got Dixon Nwafor, who's a regen. He's still there now. He's played 139 games for them. Although this season he was basically a sub, 29 sub appearances. Not great for a 10 million striker to be getting only as a sub in the Championship for a relegation threatened team. But I mean, you look at those physicals, really fast. Like he looks like a decent Championship player. He should be able to. He should really have scored more. But I mean, 29 sub appearances. Who's the guy who's sort of keeping him out of the team? You know, who's that good? Luke Freeman. A bit of a lower league journeyman again. So the second season, yeah, they're starting to pay a bit more money for transfers, but considering they have that massive loan deal, it just feels like they should have had, more money in the club to use to buy players. Stephen Coleman from Cork City, 34 games. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't look terrible, but I feel like they could have done a bit better. But he's only 20, so he could obviously grow a lot. Alex Cairns. So it's not the Alex Cairns who's the goalkeeper in real life. So this is a different guy who 8 sub appearances, 1 goal. It's not bad. Going out, it's mostly people leaving on frees being released rather than anything else. And then the season just gone. Steve Jackson and Ben Tracy. I mean, he plays 36 games for him. He looks like a pretty decent left back, probably a very defensive full back type player. And Ben Tracy here is a goalkeeper. 2 games in the Championship, 1 appearance. He's conceded 5 goals in 3 games. That's really not that good at all. The history. So they've got another new chairman in Stephen O'Tracy. They got him in 2024. So they've been taken over 3 times in this experiment. and yet none of them seem to be able to get them into the Premier League. I mean, that's what, 118. I think it's 11 million. Yeah, so you've got 11 million in the bank. So because they've got the new stadium coming, I might do another special part where we go put it back up, their reputation, give them 2 more years, or give them 3, give them till 2030, and see what they can do with the new stadium and the reputation. So hopefully that works out. So best 11. So Dominic Solanke, it's got 36 goals in 123 games for them, which isn't great for a striker. You know what I mean? You think for a striker that would get a lot more. And they got him on a free as well, Saint Etienne. And he's not been great for them, but he's been mostly a sub for them, so not really a massive issue, I suppose. Still got this guy who they signed right at the beginning of the experiment, and he's still playing for them. 13 appearances, 25 sub. He's now 28 years old. Won 3 trophies with Hemal. So yeah, I mean, he seems pretty decent. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the legend category, which he's not. He's not there at all. That's surprising. He's been there so long that you'd think he'd at least be favoured personnel or in the icon, but he's not. Jordan Park now at Bath. Carl Hawkins, he's still playing centre back for Luton now. And John Joe Kenny is now a right back at Notts County. Alright, so they did eventually replace their assistant manager, which is nice to see. Although they might have just replaced him this year. She's still only got 7 physiotherapy, and she's still at the club. I mean, other than that, I don't really think they won any major trophies, did they? Let's get rid of. Let's just leave the trophies in it. So they're out. So this year they went out in the first round they entered in. Got through in the League Cup and the FA Cup. Got to the FA Cup 5th round and went out to Liverpool, so that was quite a decent run for them. Actually sold out the ground for that Liverpool match as well. That might have been what prompted them to build a new stadium, possibly. Went out in the first round of the League Cup though. Second round of the League Cup, they've played Watford twice in this. Both times they've lost 4-1, I think, isn't it? No, they lost 1-0 here. Divock Origi's at Watford, that's a pretty decent signing. And then they got the EFL Trophy third round, sorry. Went out to Chelsea. FA Cup 3rd round and went out against Burton, and League Cup 2nd round where they went out to Brighton. But I mean, really, nobody sort of there. But I think we'll do one more of these because they're building a new stadium. Put their reputation back up, and hopefully, that will help them push on. So see, we'll go forward 3 years in the next one. That'll be good. Just a little small thing. This is unfortunately only out on Thursday. It was meant to come out on Wednesday because I had an issue recording. The recording software wouldn't work, so that's why it's a day late. But it's still going to be a Monday, Wednesday, Friday situation. So the video will actually be up tomorrow, so you won't have to wait that long for the next part. But I suppose until then, I will see you later. Bye bye.